Some have been taken off. But with a stack of wood here, stack of wood there, stack of wood, the wheelbarrow, this thing, which is nice and light. How many straps do we really need on this trailer? I would say at least one more for here, one for here, and maybe one here. I started pulling this strap. Okay, we think that's probably time. You got your use out of this baby, I believe. It's time to do that. Even on this one up here, if you start looking, the ends are frayed. You will see somewhere in here, because I remember seeing it, you will see starting to fray in the thing. It's time to get rid of this and get you a new one. And I know it's money, which you're trying to do as inexpensive as possible, but you want something that's similar, more like this. It's got the tag on it. It's still in good shape. There's no fraying. Metal's in good shape. But the problem with this, okay, if I'm driving and I stop quick, where's this going? It's going right straight forward and out of here. Could go out to the side. I've also seen, depending if you're on like 465 or 65, and you lock your brakes up, I've seen trailers come around. Now all of a sudden you've got all this stuff, when it finally does stop or tips, all that stuff's flying out and becomes a projectile. And you really need to make sure that we're taking care of those things. Like I said, check your lug nuts. They're pretty solid. Check your treads on your tires. They're in good shape on this one. I did notice, if you turn around and look, we got a broken bag of, is that gravel or pea gravel? That's not going to stay on a trailer. I guarantee you that you do some movement, that gravel is going to go somewhere. Bag may stay there, but the gravel is going to go. Little pieces of wood in these plastic things. I don't know if you can get covers on those and enclose it so it can't come out. A what? Cargo net would work too. What would really be ideal, but you wouldn't be able to take your big ramps that you might do, is if these were little box trailers, totally enclosed. It eliminates a lot of your issues. But this is what you got to work with. They're nice trailers, but you've got to make sure they're tied down. Your wheelbarrow, this strap can go from there all the way down to there, which means this wheelbarrow can go that far back and forth. If you will wrap this, which I'm locked here, I can't. As you're coming across, wrap it around one of these once or twice and then come tight. You now got control of that wheelbarrow. You don't have it sliding on you. The shovels, the pick, those are pretty heavy things. I don't think wind's going to grab those. But something this light or something like that little 1/2x4, wind can grab that. And the last thing you want is for that to be flying over the back of the trailer and head towards somebody's car. And again, I don't know if these things were out, but I'd put these inside the bag. Put the bag inside the trash can. Just little things like that that you need to check. Check the trailer first. Make sure there's no loose or splintered boards. Tires are in good shape. Do we check the lights? Yeah. We check the brake lights, the turn lights. You should do that before you leave. Trying to think what else.
How about safety chains? Those accidents you talk about
Oh,
the chains were hooked up to something?
chains came unhooked.
Oh,
Or it broke. I forget which. But like I said, the trailer headed away. Yeah, they should have had chains. You've got chains on all yours that should hook up onto the truck, should stop that. But again, nothing's 100% sure. So you want to control this as best you can.
When you hook up, when you get to
yeah.
Yeah.
Stabilize.
Stabilize it some. Yeah. Best way to do it. Make sure you've got 2 chains. I've seen, you guys have nice newer trailers, but I've seen people with old trailers, 1 chain's gone from wherever. Now you got the 1 chain. Will it hold? Hopefully. But again, they're only rated for so much weight and force, and it's supposed to be 2, not 1, so it could break that chain. Okay. Correct. The tools in a pickup truck, a little hard to strap those down. And you've also got it more enclosed on the sides and the front. Not a whole lot you can do. The more you can put in like your back seat or behind the back seat inside the cab, the better. I mean, weather-wise, everything-wise, it's better to have, because surely you don't drive your truck when it's raining or snowing or sleeting or anything else. I have a feeling you do. So yeah, batteries and drills, you don't really want those out in the wet water stuff. While you're building, you've got probably safety glasses, hard hats. I'm not sure just what all. Make sure you're taking care of those. Don't leave those in the back of your pickup truck. Oh, I'm just grab it out of the pickup truck when I'm done, back in the truck. Sun, ultraviolet rays will damage that plastic. Believe it or not, rain and water doesn't help it at all. The newest thing we're seeing with the safety hats, they're going to helmets. Like if you're getting up on ladders, in your case, you guys don't use ladders hardly at all. But like my mainly construction people, where they're getting 6-8 foot off, oh, I got my hard hat on. Well, when you fall, the hat goes off and your head hits whatever it's going down towards, where the strapped helmets is what most of your big contractors go into. Gloves, there's all sorts of different gloves you can wear, cut resistant, impact resistant, thin ones, thick ones, all sorts of things that way. Behind the seat's all right. I'm talking about out in the bed of the pickup. Yeah. Yeah.
Lady pulled out a US 40 from the car, T-bone. The driving a hatchback, and they have a skill saw, a 5-pound bucket full of nails and bolts and stuff.
Yeah.
And that came forward and hit the lady with something
Yeah.
right in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So if you're driving a vehicle that doesn't have an enclosed trunk,
Yeah.
and you've got tools in it, they need to be secured
Down on the floor. Yeah. Most pickups, even if you got 2 rows of seats, that back seat folds forward and there's a space down below in the back, and that seat will help keep that in there. The biggest thing though is we've got to do a better job of when we're bringing I assume this is the extras, the leftover. After they've drop shipped, you build it, then you send what's left over back in here. That's probably going to be your big exposure, and having a few more straps. So, because like I said, you've got to have a strap that's literally coming right over here to hold this down and have force down on it. Where was it? Might have been one of the others where it looks like it's strapped down, but half of them underneath there's no force on them, so they're movable. Yeah, I'm assuming that the level and the shovel were put in there after the fact. But yeah, gravel, I mean, you've seen the broken window claims of the people behind the dump trucks. That's just a little bit of gravel that's on the back end of the truck a lot of times. So any questions? I mean, safety's common sense. You gentlemen are all of an age. You should have gained some over the years, hopefully.